going to see some good racing today. And like I said, more lines, a little rougher, better for passing, and in case somebody gets a bad start. But Carmichael just still dominating everybody. It looks like it's already over with after seeing what happened in practice.
As we take a look at the Honda starting grid, another rider to look for, Robbie Reynard. Reynard's very fast here at Steel City, riding the 250 class now. I look for him to be up near the front.
Yeah, he won here early in his career, and it looked like he was going to have the kind of career that Ricky had, and injuries really stopped his momentum.
Uphill start. There's Carmichael, number 4, in the middle of the field there.
Nick Way electing to go all the way to the inside. It's a gamble. He got pinched off a little bit, but he can tuck it around the inside. Come out pretty good. Who else?
Tuck it around
Carmichael.
20th place. But yeah, Carmichael gets the start. You talked about getting pinched off. He got shut down. Way that is. Look at Ernesto Fonseca. He's in a points battle for 3rd place overall with David Villeman, and Fonseca really wants 30. How much bonus do you think he has on the line if he gets the top 3?
I don't think he cares about that. He just wants the result right now. And I'm not seeing Kevin Windham, Robbie. He slipped past me or went down. I don't see him anywhere in the top. So the one rider that can really challenge Ricky, Kevin Windham, is down.
Maybe it's another Honda pilot. Ernesto Fonseca been fast a few weeks. Michael Byrne on the factory Kawasaki back in 3rd place. But there's Carmichael, and you can see this is the 250 Moto number 1, and the braking bumps are already big, even acceleration bumps going up that hill. Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, 1, 2, and 3.
See the body English Carmichael using coming out of that left sweeper and heading up the hill into those doubles right there. Just not sitting and not fully standing, just in a full isometric, all strength.
Did you just throw out isometric?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't really know what to call it, but you know, the kind of body English that allows him to keep that 450 pin and open up a gap and show Fonseca that, look, if you plan on staying with me, you're going to have to do this. And I don't think Ernesto wants to, and you can see the gap opening up already in just a half a lap.
2nd place, Team Honda's Ernesto Fonseca out of Murrieta, California, originally from Costa Rica, former Costa Rican national champion, and he has really been coming on as of late. Several 3rd place finishes overall. As I mentioned, he's tied with David Villeman for 3rd.
This is the section I talked about where they opened it up just a little bit, a little pop-up jump into the sweeper, leads into the tabletop. And how about that start for Michael Byrne on the 250? Uphill and plowed dirt, so they've got those 250 KXs running strong, obviously.
Yeah, really the only 2 strokes that we see in the field each week are the Kawasaki's. There's Travis Preston just behind, rider number 70. Preston, for being a factory rider, the guy you really don't hear that much of. And a great guy, you know, he'd go out there and, you know, he'll make everybody laugh at an awards banquet, but he's consistently up there in the top 5, but really not, you know, really standing out.
Yeah, he's getting better and better, you know, and he doesn't really demand a lot of attention. Looks like a nice move on Michael Byrne. Byrne elected to go down low, figured that line was going to pay off, but just can't open the door on Preston like that early in the race. Preston getting a little bit faster with each race and more used to that 450. Probably feels that the pressure that Honda, they don't really put pressure on you, but they just work so hard to give you such a great motorcycle that you take yourself more serious. And it's the first time he's been injury-free for so long. There's Jonathan giving Ryan Hughes his signal, going by with dual silencers on his 450. And I want to point out, look at number 64 right there behind Byrne. That's Sean Collier with another fantastic start, a lot like Denver. And 1 lap in the books, and he hasn't lost contact with these factory guys. So like I talked about, Preston improving with each round, so is Collier.
Seen Preston, he's in a points battle with John Down, also Michael Byrne at 5th, 6th, 7th spot. Really starting to tighten up. Michael Byrne, the Australian transplant, Jeff Emming, God, how long ago was that? I mean, brought him over here to the U.S., had him on, you know, his team for a while. That folded, but he's been here ever since.
Yeah, looking good. You notice how wide those guys were going down that hill into the left-hander at the bottom, because the inside, the braking bumps were so big, they're like jumps, and it's actually advantageous to go clear around the outside, and it just invites somebody, hey, if you want to try to pass me on the inside, you're going to have to hit all that stuff, and no one's really willing to do it just yet. And now here we are talking about all these battles and these riders. Carmichael right there at the bottom of the screen going the other way, twice the size of the lead. He had the first lap, just stretching it out, no pressure really from behind. Kevin, I think, the only guy really able to do that, still on the side of him.
Sean Collier, the number 64 you see in your picture every so often. The number 12, though, David Villeman, he's a factory rider, going to make a switch this next year, riding for the Buku team. So he goes from factory to, what is it? Would it be a privateer? It would be factory support. How would you how would you quantify his sponsorship deal next year?
That's a good question. I don't know what they consider privateer anymore. I'm a little confused on that. But I think it's going to be good equipment, but not quite like what he has right now.
How could it be?
Nothing can compare to what he's got. Those bell-bottom forks and all the suspension work they do, Chad Reed on the team, all the testing, the success they've had indoors. You know, David's been there a long time, and you know, he's going to have his work cut out, but it's also nice to have a change of scenery and change your motivation a little bit. And how about Rhino? Just out there going, hey, you know, I got to finish a couple rounds this season before I hang it up. For motocross, that is, and that bike is pretty much stock. FMF dual silencers on the back, and holding off a huge factory star.
Team ECC Suzuki up there. Ryan Hughes in 6th spot right now, but everybody's chasing Carmichael. Welcome back to Steel City Raceway for more AMA motocross. It's the Monster Energy Kawasaki Steel City National, part of the Monster Energy Kawasaki Triple Crown of motocross, where Ricky Carmichael was going to try and take home an extra $25,000 for sweeping the 3 rounds, and this is the 3rd and final stop. And speaking of sweeping, look at Ryan Hughes sweep that outside, just rail it. He's on a privateer machine. Team ECC, Escondido Cycle Center hooking him up. And coming a little short on that uphill right there, but just how fast he is. I mean, he's beating factory stars right now. Berner just in front of him, but he has Billman behind him. And,
Beautiful move. Now, hey.
Was that goosebumps I see on your arm? That was pretty.
Almost. That just was a sheer strength, aggressive. I'm making this pass right now over the fall trying. And when you go off that jump, leads into that right hand off camera, you're going off that jump blind. You land in the braking bumps. Ryan's strong enough and determined enough to pull that off.
All right,
That's
David.
the corner where he and Doug Henry got together years ago, and they got up from that and got a little bit of a fight. Rhino making history again in that corner, passing Byrne with that was an aggressive pass, and he made it stick without having to make any contact.
I got another question for you on Rhino in a minute. I'm sure we'll see him again. We're seeing Billman work on stepping on that tabletop right there and getting the inside line on Michael Byrne. They're both chasing Travis Preston right there and Ryan Hughes. But it looks like Billman doesn't want to settle for position. Tries to take it over Berner, and does he get it here? He's side by side. Getting by is going to be another story because they're going to be making a right-hand turn. Berner has position. But now Billman has position and takes over that 4th spot.
That's what I really like about that plateau section. Is the way they enter into it now without that little chicane. They're able to get in there side by side, and they've been side by side for, you know, all the way down that section, around the left, over the other tabletops before Billman finally put him away. I thought he had him in the left-hander after the tabletops, but Byrne did a good job to hang on and really make Billman fight for it.
I want to reiterate, we have Ricky Carmichael so far out in front. Ernesto Fonseca in 2nd. Travis Preston now is in 3rd. I might have incorrectly said that a moment ago, but Preston looking really good. The factory Honda going downhill right there, taking the wide line, followed by Ryan Hughes, David Billman, Michael Byrne. Freight train right there. 5 positions, and they're pretty tight.
If we could just get Ricky to stay home, a little swap there by Preston. Good job, good save.
If we could get Ricky to do what? Just slow down?
Just stay home or something, you know, then racing would actually be pretty good.
And not, you know, get the full sweep for the season. His 3rd time to do so, when most people thought, me included, that anyone would ever sweep an entire season as far as overall.
And this may not be a perfect season, but you know, he's looking at a 3rd potential season of winning every overall. And you know, you can look at it as that, well, you know, Chad's not here, James isn't here, and all that, but
Ricky is.
He beat these guys, you know, and he's got his foot on their throats, really. And you know, I think their absence has a little bit. There goes Ryan again, same corner, another pass. But you know, I think you got to give Ricky a lot of credit for beating these guys so bad that it just makes him go, you know what, this isn't coming together. Let me just go ahead and cut my losses and get ready for the U.S. Open. And you know, Ricky, I think during the week is actually doing a lot of testing for Supercross next year as well as the U.S. Open, and just shows up to these nationals and wins anyway.
And the Motocross Nations, we're seeing an aggressive line by Billman on the inside, just bonsaiing down that hill, and Billman gets by Preston. Preston not backing down, so a double pass there. Both Ryan Hughes and David Billman making a pass on this lap over Travis Preston. And we see Billman riding aggressive, and
now
I really there he is, finally. I was going to say, Billman's riding aggressive because he wants that 3rd place. He knows Fonseca's up there, but we get our first chance to see the 14. The Amsoil Chaparral Honda of Kevin Windham has worked his way into 7th.
And check out Sean Collier running with the factory stars, privateer. doing his own deal. His dad just helping him out, and got to hand it to him for keeping up with all these guys. Windham's going to blow through him, but Collier is staying strong so far.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's time for our Parts Unlimited flashback. The year was 1996. A very diminutive Ricky Carmichael, this time on the 125 class. David, this is where it all began. This is the coming out party for Ricky Carmichael.
Man, this is cool to see. There's a good trivia question. What was Ricky's first 3-digit pro number? Well, there you go right there. Look how small he looks. And not quite as fast as he looks now. I think he went, I'm not positive, I think he went like 16.6.
A top 10.
Top 10 overall. Yeah, it wasn't bad. The first moto, I think he was a little tight, nervous, all kinds of pressure and expectations. But he cleaned that up for the second moto and proved that he's going to be around for a while.
How could you not be nervous? I mean,
that number would get a lot smaller.
Yeah, he was the second coming of Jeff Ward with the size and all, and Ward, he led the way for a diminutive rider going out there. Now Ricky's grown a lot in not only years, but size and knowledge as well. Let's take a look at that race for third. Ryan Hughes held that position until just that moment. David Billman takes it over. You got another thing coming if you think Rhino's going to back down.
And that was a bold move for Billman to come down around the outside of Rhino.
Oh, he lost his rhythm right there.
Yeah,
that's a tough section. That's
what he was trying to do with Byrne, too, and it's good until that last double. And because he's trying to do all those doubles from the inside, it's really tough to jump that last one clean.
And you've seen Kevin Windham working his way up. Ricky Carmichael going for his 9th Motocross Championship.
Look at the difference. How fast he's going. I know he's on a 450 and all, but man, what a transformation from that flashback. And you know, Windham, I didn't see him go down
near last.
Neither did our cameras. He went down and somewhere right in the first couple of corners off the start, and to come from last, looks like he may be able to pick up second at the pace he's going. Rhino getting the back.
Squared it up as Windham. Windham goes to the inside. I know Billman's a ways up there, but you're right. The pace he's going. I mean, he's darn near Carmichael's speeds. You see this? Rhino's still not one to back down, but you have to on that tabletop, or else it gets ugly because you can't face that next jump. It's not even an option.
Yeah, if you overjump it, it ruins the timing through there, and you got to hand it to Kevin, man. And what a ride from last place. But you know, even if he does come from last and finish all the way up into second place, you know, he's going to get a few pats on the back, but he's still going to have that look on his face, I would imagine, of like disappointment, going, man, you know, but I still lost. So Carmichael, he does everything he has to do to keep things alive. That kind of stuff just never seems to happen to him. And he's on his way to another title. This is all he needs, is to finish off this moto right here. He doesn't even need to win it. He just needs 5 points. It looks like he's going to get that no problem and keep his streak alive of never losing an outdoor title defense.
Plus 21. That's how many seconds he's ahead, in case you're not used to reading the lap boards out there.
Not that big of a lead today, actually.
Yeah, 21. Not that bad.
No, actually, you know, he checked out a lot more than that early on. Fonseca was really close to him.
How have your standards just changed? When you look at that thing and say 21, not that much of a lead today. That's crazy, David. Plus 21.
If he wanted, it could be 50 right now.
I agree, but I mean, how the times have changed when we look at 20 seconds as not being that big of a lead. Any type of race.
I think right now he's just going, let me do what's necessary.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Those guys fight it out behind me, and if he needs to go faster, there's a lot more under the hood.
Look at this race for second place between Ernesto Fonseca and David Billman. They have Kevin Wynn. I'm not even sure if they really know that yet. Billman has Fonseca, who's been in that spot the whole race. That probably hurt Fonseca, wouldn't you say? Because Billman was racing with someone.
Billman getting a little bit sideways right there, a lapper in the line. I don't know if that messed up his concentration a little bit, but...
Well, here comes Kevin. Now he knows he's there. And listen to the crowd cheering him on. They know he went down early on in that first lap. Now Windham jumps down and has position, or does he? And another
fighting today, I like it.
And another thing on Kevin Windham's mind, or on our minds, is Kevin Windham just had to deal with Hurricane Katrina. His home state of Mississippi tore up Louisiana, that whole coast. Our thoughts go out to all the friends and family of everyone down there. But Kevin Windham is one of those people that had to deal with the hurricane.
Yeah, the remnants of that storm came all the way up through here. And they canceled the Thursday amateur day to preserve the track a little bit more. And, you know, there goes Kevin finally on the inside. And while we look at this beautiful day, a perfect track, some good racing, and a heck of an effort by Kevin Windham, while Carmichael looks to be wrapping up another championship, it all kind of seems immaterial, really, with what's going on south of here. And like you said, you know, our hopes and prayers for things to be restored to somewhat normal as soon as possible. You know, we're thinking about those people. I've never seen anything quite like that. It's horrible, and I know that this crowd and these riders are doing a lot today to try to donate money and help those people out.
Windham actually has somebody living in his house that moved out of there. And look at this race. Oh, what happened? You want somebody? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think Browning's too happy about that. Burroughs came in there, and those three riders got together. I don't think he meant to do that, and Browning's just going, hey, I don't play that.
Wild Willie
knocked me down. It wasn't necessary, and you don't see that very often, but kudos for our cameras to be back in the field and catch that.
They saw a race about to go down, throw down, and somebody was throwing down. Here's the race for second place. Now Kevin Windham has worked his way all the way from last to darn near the lead. He's working on second place right now, and he gets by on the outside. They're two Hondas, but not necessarily teammates. Factory Honda 24 Ernesto Fonseca and the Napster Amsoil Honda of Kevin Windham takes over second.
That's where he made that pass. That's an off-camber corner down there that's really difficult to get stopped for, especially on the 450. White flag is out for Ricky, and he got down in there fast, laid it over, kept his balance, and blasted out of that corner. And I think he caught Ernesto. Ernesto probably felt like as fast as Kevin caught him, he was probably going to get past, and he did it a lot sooner than I thought it was going to happen.
Now Ernesto can't lose a position to David Billman. They're tied in points for third, and as we take a look back at that race for third, they've been swapping back and forth, and each week, last week we saw 3-4-4-3 combos between the two. It looks like we're seeing the same thing again here. Billman knows it. He's switching to a new team. I don't know if he's riding with as much incentive as Ernesto does. Ernesto doesn't have a ride, as far as I know right now, for next year.
Yeah, I think he does. He's just not really allowed to say. There goes Billman down the inside. Beautiful. As soon as Ernesto went wide around the corner up there, Billman was close enough to take advantage. I kind of saw that coming, and Ernesto's usually good about that, covering his lines. He doesn't always, you know, have to fight that hard because he's in the proper line and makes everybody pass him in the hard way, which is how you're supposed to do it. But
arm pump for Ricky Carmichael.
He faded bad. Ernesto looked like he had second locked up. I can see Kevin catching him, but
not Billman.
He'll be disappointed with himself after this because he had a big lead over those guys and let it slip away.
I think he ride a little middle laps by Fonseca the last couple of laps. Ricky Carmichael's arm was up in the air because he knows not only did he win the moto, he has won another championship. That makes it number 9. Fans sitting down now. That's because they're worn out for standing on their feet for so long here at the Monster Energy Kawasaki Steel City National. And Ricky Carmichael, you see the number 1. That number 4 of Carmichael, so prevalent on top of the podium. He takes his 9th Motocross Championship. As we take a look at the results, Suzuki results, and Suzuki on top. Very befitting, David.
You pretty much owe it all to Carmichael and DeCoster for putting together the team and the bike, and Ricky going out there and dominating like he always has.
DV12, though, he finished 3rd.
David Billman having his work cut out for him. David, a man on a mission, a hard charge for you. Right now, coming into this race, you were tied for 3rd place with Ernesto. How important is it to you to extend your lead for the 3rd place overall?
Yeah, it's always good to be on the podium. You know, it'd be great to be 3rd in the championship. But, you know, I want to have fun on the track, as that's what I did. I did not get a great start, but caught up to 3rd, and I had a good battle with Kevin towards the end, and stayed with him. You know, it's a great day of racing, nice track, and nice weather, so it's good.
K-Dub there talking with another Southern boy. Carmichael going, man, this water was coming in. I couldn't do nothing about it. Talk to K-Dub.
Kevin Windham charging all the way from the back of the pack. Kevin, this start is a little bit different. It's an uphill start. A man of your stature, you've got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, no excuse. I should have got a better start than that. I was way back in the back, and everybody came together, and I went down, and you know, I found myself on the ground. I said, all right, well, here's the ride I've been waiting for. You know, I've been having a hard time staying with Ricky. I said, all right, well, you know, I got my work cut out for me in this race, and really wanted to get up here on the podium and to get second, and that moto feels really, really good.
Ricky, here we are again, 1 year later, and we're handing the same number, not the same number 1 plate, the 2005 number 1 plate to Ricky Carmichael for doing a damn good job racing them 250. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The AMA is so proud of you.
Thank you very much. You know, it's it's been a great career, a great year. You know, you definitely got to give it up to Suzuki. You know, they came in here and they had to produce. I'm on a bike that's unproven, and I think I just proved it today. Thank you to AMA, all my sponsors. It's you know, it hasn't set in. It's got a lot on my mind, and you know, it's just a great thing happening here.
Okay, not only that, but you've also got a little bit of surprise, something that you're going to be giving away for the auction this evening.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this right here.
Yeah, I got this BBR right here that I'm giving. It's handmade, special 110. Doing it for the auction for the Gulf Coast for Hurricane Katrina victims. It's something special, you know. I'm just glad that I'm fortunate enough to be somebody that's able to do this, and I'm looking for it to go for a lot of money. You know, anything helps, as you guys have heard. The whole Gulf Coast. It's really a shame, and you know, it definitely makes you realize don't sweat the small stuff.
Very well said, Ricky.